English classroom. This is Abigail Meruga. Today I am very much excited to teach you new topic from the lesson The Glimpses of the Past. And in the previous session we have learned different events like the martyrs, the conquest, the British rule, oppression and so on that took place in the history of our country, India, from 1757 to 1857. Children, in the previous session, I have given you a home task. Do you remember that? Very good. So I told you to prepare a beautiful album of our freedom fighters. And today in this session, we are going to learn different topics like stories, comics, and we are going to learn about how to write a paragraph and conversations and so on. Children, are you ready? Okay, so before getting into the lesson, just have a glance of the overview of the lesson. Dear students, in the overview, we have working with the text, working with language, speaking and writing, and the poem Macavity, the Mystery Cat. Dear students, before getting into the lesson in detail, let's know the learning outcomes. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to recall the lesson Glimpses of the Past, identify differences between direct and indirect speech or narration, recognize the change of verb forms in reported speech, discuss the given story with your friends and ask questions, explain the story to your friends in simple sentences, express your thoughts of farmers' grievances in the form of a play act, and describe a set of pictures and construct your own story. Children, in the previous session, in the lesson Glimpses of the Past, we have seen the martyrs, the company's conquest, the British rule, Ram Mohan Roy, and oppression. So today we'll continue the remaining events from the lesson Glimpses of the Past. The next event in the lesson is dissatisfaction. Took place from 1835 to 1856. In this, the Indians were not satisfied with the British rule. The British tried to bring a vast transformation in Indian education. Education in India was in Persian and Sanskrit languages. During 1835 to 1856, Thomas Macaulay suggested a change in Indian education. They taught Indians their language, English. By 1856, the British has conquered the whole of India. They cared a little about the needs of Indians. So in this India map, you can clearly see the area occupied by the British. It is indicated in pink and the states are indicated in yellow. Now let's move on to another event, that is the Sparks from 1855 to 1857. Some Indian soldiers in East India Company were not happy with the attitude of East India Company. A soldier named Mangal Pandey attacked the adjutant of his regiment and was executed. There was dissatisfaction everywhere. Indians decided to drive away the British. Indians came to know that the British people have deceived them. Thousands of sepoys were stripped of their uniforms. The villagers readily accepted to help the emperor. Soon chapatis were sent from village to village to tell the people that their emperor would want their services. Similarly, lotus flowers are circulated among Indian soldiers. They gave all help and shelter to the patriots. Dear students, let's know the meanings for the new words. You can see the word and its meaning. Adjutant. Adjutant means a military officer. Executed means kill someone as political act. Spark, sense of excitement or happiness. Now let's move on to the revolt in 1857. In 1857, there was a violent outbreak in Meerut. The rebellion spread wider. Many landlords lost their lands because of the British policies. The Indians mustered up their confidence and energy to fight the British. The sepoys marched to Delhi. The people extended their support by saying, "Long life our Emperor Bahadur Shah. The white man's rule must end." Now let's see the fight for freedom 1857. Many rulers like Begum Hajrat Mahal of Lucknow were very bitter. She said, "The white man has taken away my kingdom." Popular leaders like Maulvi Ahmadullah, he is encouraging and inspiring people by saying, "Rise, brother, rise. The Angrez is ruining our land." So he is motivating the Indian to take part in the war to get freedom. Azamullah Khan told Tantia Tope that we should have Peshwa Nana Sahib as a leader in this war of independence. The patriot pounced upon the British and fought pitched battles all over North India. Dear students, let's know the meanings of some other new words from the lesson. Bitter. Bitter means showing anger, hurt for bad experiences. Outbreak, a sudden occurrence of war or disease. Pounce, spring suddenly to attack someone. An 80-year-old conversing, a leader and also a military commander of Bihar, received a bullet in his wrist and at last said, "Mother Ganga, this is my last offering to you." Students, so far we have seen different events like dissatisfaction, the sparks, revolt, and the fight for freedom. Now let's go for comprehension check. And now your question on the screen. Who said these words? "Rise, brother, rise. The Angress is ruining our land." Who is ready with your answer? Go ahead. Maulvi Ahmadullah. Very good, children. Dear students, under working with the text, we have completed different events like dissatisfaction 1835 to 1856, sparks 1855 to 1857, revolt 1857, the fight for freedom 1857. Now let's have comprehension check. Your next question on the screen. Name any two popular leaders who led the revolt. Who is ready with the answers? Very good. Nana Sahib Peshwa and Begum Hazrat Mahal. Well done. Here comes your next question on the screen. Which flowers were circulated among the Indian soldiers? Your options are A. Rose, B. Lily, C. Marigold, and D. Lotus. Who is ready with your answers? Very good, Lotus. You've done a great job. Here comes your next question on the screen. Who is the speaker of the above lines? The white man has taken away my kingdom. So who is the speaker of the above lines? Very good. Begum Hazrat Mahal. Very good, children. Now we are going to learn direct and indirect speech. Dear students, we all know that our lesson, Glimpses of the Past, is in the form of speech bubbles, the actual words of the speaker. So let's see one or two examples from the lesson. Children, let's see the actual words of Ram Mohan Roy explaining to his wife Uma. Cows are of different colors, but the color of milk is same. The actual words of Macaulay is shown in a speech bubble. We should teach the natives through the English language. Knowledge should be practical and scientific, or the actual words of Ram Mohan Roy. So the lesson Glimpses of the Past is written in the form of speech bubbles. That means the actual words of the speaker. So it is called direct narration or direct speech. When we report what the speaker spoke is called indirect narration or indirect speech. We have direct speech or direct narration. That means the actual words of the speaker and the reported words of the speaker is said to be as indirect speech or indirect narration. Children, let's study the examples from the lesson, page number 46. The first farmer said, "Why are your men taking away the entire crop?" The second farmer said, "Your men have taken away everything." Officer, "You are still in arrears. If you don't pay the tax next week, I will send you to jail." So these three statements or the sentences or the actual words of the farmer and also the officer. Let's see how the actual words are reported in the following sentences. Students, let's see the actual words of first farmer. Why are your men taking away the entire crop? When we change this into indirect speech, we can say the first farmer asked the officer why his men were taking away the entire crop. So now I will tell you why we use the word asked here. Because the first farmer's actual words are in the form of question. So generally we ask questions, but we never say or tell questions. So we use the word asked. And in direct speech, it is given in your. So your men changed into his men. And then as it is a question form, again we are writing the question word why here, and then or it is simple present tense is changed into simple past tense. So here, because of it is a question, we used the word asked and we have repeated the same question word, and then you were changed into his, and then the simple present tense are changed into were. So when we write with the following changes, the first farmer asked the officer why his men were taking away the entire crop. Students, now let's see the second farmer's actual words. Your men have taken away everything. So this is in the form of a statement, or we can call it as an assertive sentence. So when we report this, we can say the second farmer said that their men had taken away everything. Now let's see. See, as it is a sentence, generally we say the sentence or a statement. So for this, we use the word said. And then it is an assertive sentence. We have to use the conjunction that. So the second farmer said that. Again here, your men changed into their men. And present perfect tense have taken away is changed into past perfect tense, that is had taken away everything. So we can say the second farmer said that their men had taken away everything. Now let's see the actual words of the officer. You are still in arrears. If you don't pay the tax next week, I will send you to jail. So the officer is giving reply to the first farmer's question. So what did he ask him? So why your men are taking away the entire crop? So for this, he is giving a reply. So the officer replied. Again, we are using the word conjunction that. You changed into they, and then the simple present tense are changed into were. So the officer replied that they were still in arrears, and we use the word warn because he is an officer. He is warning them, he warned them that, again we are using the word conjunction, and if you don't pay. So this changed into if they, you change into they, don't change into did not. If they did not pay the tax the following week. So instead of next week, we used following week. And the officer said that I will send you to jail. So we are reporting that that means the officer, would send you changed into them, and them means the farmer, to jail. So we can write the actual words of the officer in the indirect speech. We can write like this. The officer replied that they were still in arrears and warned them that if they did not pay the tax the following week, he means the officer would send them to jail. Children, I hope you got it. Students, shall we see the exercises given in page number 46 of our textbook? Right. Change the following sentences into indirect speech. So here, the first man's telling that we must educate our brothers. When we change this into indirect speech, we can write the first man said that they must educate their brothers. Let's see the second sentence. The second man and tried to improve their material condition. So when we change this into indirect speech, the second man added that they should try to improve their material conditions. The third man, for that we must convey our grievances to the British Parliament. Shall we change this into indirect speech? Here we go. The third man suggested that they must convey their grievances to the British Parliament. Let's move on to another exercise from page number 46 of your textbook, right? The first soldier. The white soldier gets huge pay, mansions, and servant. So we can write an indirect speech like this. The first soldier said that the white soldier got huge pay, mansions, and servants. Second soldier. We get a pittance and slow promotion. Let's change this into indirect speech. The second soldier remarked that they got a pittance and slow promotions. So here is a question on your screen. Change the following sentences into indirect speech. Your question now. The first soldier. The white soldiers gets huge pay, mansions and servants. Who is ready with the answer? Go ahead. The first soldier said that the white soldier got huge pay, mansions and servants. Excellent job. One more question on your screen. The second soldier. We get a pittance and slow promotions. So who is on the line to give me answer? Very good. The second soldier remarked that they got pittance and slow promotions. Very good. One more question for you. Change the following sentences into indirect speech. The first man. We must educate our brothers. So who will change this into indirect speech? Go ahead. The first man said that they must educate their brothers. Very good. Here comes your question on the screen. Fill in the blanks with the suitable words. Your question. Before the British rule, education in India was dash and dash languages. Who is ready with your answers? Persian, very good. Sanskrit languages, excellent. Next question. Fill in the blanks with the suitable words. In 1835, the Englishman proposed to begin education for Indians in English. So who is ready with your answer? Macaulay, very good. Well done. Dear students, let's work on with speaking and writing. Listen to the conversation. Vijay and Sujay are playing the role of farmers. Rewrite their speech bubbles in a dialogue form. So before writing, let's watch this video.
Hi Sujay, why are you so sad? What happened to you? Please let me know.
Hi Vijay, really I am vexed with the British policies. I am very much worried how to feed my family.
I am also facing the same problem. There are no rains at all. Really, it is a very horrible situation. My children are suffering from hunger.
Yes, we have become slaves to the British. They don't care our needs.
They levied heavy taxes and forced us to abandon our fields to them.
The white people are taking high salaries and they are giving very less salaries to us. So I decided not to pay the tax at all.
My dear friend, don't do that. If you don't pay the tax, they will send you to jail.
So our immediate responsibility is to fight for our freedom.
Okay, let's hope for the best.
Students, I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Shall we write the speech bubbles in the form of a dialogue? Okay. Vijay. Hi Sujay. Why are you so sad? What happened to you? Please let me know. Sujay. Hi Vijay. I'm really vexed with the British policies. I am very much worried how to feed my family. Ajay, I'm also facing the same problem. There are no rains this year. My children are suffering from hunger. Sujay, yes, we have become slaves to the British. They don't care our needs. Ajay, they levied heavy taxes and forced us to abandon our fields. Sujay, the white people are taking high salaries and giving less salaries to us. So I decided not to pay the tax at all. Ajay, my dear friend, don't do that. If you don't pay the tax, they will send you to jail. Sujay, our immediate responsibility is to fight for freedom of our country. Ajay, let's hope for the best. Students, here is a question. The lesson Glimpses of the Past is in the form of a story or text, pictures or poem. So what is your answer for this? Very good. Pictures. Well done. Students, here is your favorite topic, story time. So you can find this in page number 47 of your textbook. So I will display some pictures to you. So you have to observe the pictures carefully and then you have to work in pairs. You have to ask your friend one another the questions based on the picture. Are you ready? Here we go. Look at the pictures carefully and then ask questions based on this. Now let's watch a video of Tim and Judith, how they question on this topic.
Hi Tim, now I'm going to ask you some questions. Look at the picture carefully and answer, okay?
Judith, certainly I'll give you answers. You can proceed now.
Where is the fox?
The fox is in the well.
How did it happen?
The fox accidentally fell into the well.
What is the fox thinking now?
The fox is thinking the way to get out of the well.
Who is the visitor?
The goat is the visitor.
What does the goat want to know?
The goat wants to know if the water is sweet.
What did the goat do then?
The goat asked the fox, "Is the water sweet?"
What did the fox say?
The fox said, "The water is very, very sweet."
What did the goat do then?
The goat immediately jumped into the well.
What did the fox do then?
The fox immediately jumped on the back of the goat and came out of the well.
What is the goat thinking now?
Now the goat is thinking about her mother's advice. Many a time she told her not to believe the strangers.
Okay, Tim, you have done an excellent job. Thank you so much.
You are welcome, Judith. Bye-bye.
My name is Princey. My story goes like this. The cunning fox and the foolish goat. Once upon a time, there lived a fox. It was very, very thirsty, so it went near a well to drink water and accidentally fell into the well. It tried and tried to come out of the well, but could not come out of it. There came a goat and looked into the well. She saw the fox and asked if the water is sweet. The fox replied, "The water is very, very sweet." So the goat immediately jumped into the well, and the fox immediately jumped on the back of the goat and came out of the well. The goat felt so sad and thinking of her mother's advice not to believe the strangers. The moral: don't believe the strangers.
Dear students, here is a home task for you on the screen. Observe the picture and write a simple story. Give a suitable title and moral. Students, now it's time for us to close the session. We'll meet in the next class. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.